All right, welcome everybody to the channel. My name is Matt, and this is the Gaming Corner. Today, I'm going to give you guys a little preview of the Gaming Corner. Now, I do not have a man cave. This is not in any special part of my house or anything like that, in a separate room. If you come back here and fart, boy, I'm going to chase you like the dog you are.
If you don't get it, I did that last video.
That's my son, Andrew. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys a little bit of the Gaming Corner. You can actually pretty much already see it. There's nothing fancy about my setup or anything like that. If you see the Jif peanut butter over that way, where a Mountain Dew bottle is, that's actually my wife's computer area. My gaming room is the living room. But without further ado, this will be filmed off my phone. And I'll give you guys a little bit of a rundown of what the Gaming Corner looks like. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. All right, so here is a little tour of my gaming setup. So we start off over here. You saw this wall once before, but it has gotten a little bit smaller because I moved some stuff on over. This room kind of just keeping games that have hang tabs. I want to make it into nothing but shooters, so gotta change a few of those around yet. Moving on down to my TV setup. Lighting might not be great. Got Megatron. Some stuff from The Witcher. And this is my CRT TV, which should have had Sonic running on it, which it does not right now. But that is a 27-inch Orion TV. TV is probably well over 30 years old. Still works. You see I got everything hooked up in the front here because the back ports no longer work. There is a couple of the boxes from the Sega Mega Drive 2 and one of the Retrobit USB controllers, not USB, Bluetooth controller receivers for the Genesis. Then you got my Saturn, Dreamcast, and underneath down here is the PlayStation 1. Now my floor is a little messy, deal with it. Over here is my taller bookcase with few more things from The Witcher up there. Master System games start off here, even though I do got some Genesis RAM hack games sitting there. But this is the Master System side of it. These were the latest Master System games I just picked up that I still got put in order yet. And coming on down, even though it's going to be hard to see, let's see, can I get the light on here? There we go. Okay. There is my Sega Genesis Model 2 with the Sega CD. Hiding behind Wolverine here are a couple of the dual RAM cartridge games for the Master System, along with the card games. Down a little bit further here, we go to the Genesis library. Technically in alphabetical order, a few games that I have in the not right spot. Complete in-box 4-way play for the EA Sports. My Master System with Sonic the Hedgehog in it right now. Down a little bit further are some more of the games. That Sega Master System holder right there used to have games on it, but I've removed those all, and now they're all complete in box. A few other Genesis games there. Another RAM hack game, the Turtles game there. The next bookshelf here is over here. Here we have the Sony PlayStation Mini, which does work. Got a couple things from Cyberpunk up there, Punisher. Going on down, as you can see, there's a hole in the backpack here. Our cat, when I was putting this together, jumped through it. But these are a lot of my loose games here. A couple of 32X games, all that. More Genesis titles. Next shelf down is where my Sega CD games are hiding at, along with some more of the Genesis ones. These are a lot of the Mega Drive Japanese games that I have. A couple that you did not see in the collection was this one right here, because it's not real. It's a reproduction, and it's actually kind of a crappy one. But that is Golden Axe 3. These were the two Mark III Sega Master System games. Like I said, then you also got my Sega CD games here. Coming down a little bit further, we head over to the Saturn stuff. So Saturn game, these are all my loose ones which I want to replace and get into long box form. But as you can see, I got a pretty good collection going here. All these right here are all Japanese, along with those back there. So I do have a lot of Japanese Sega Saturn games. The next shelf is kind of a mixed thing. It's got OG Xbox, it's got Nintendo, it's got some of my Atari games on it. And that. So we got those there, and the 360. Then we got more 360 games down at the bottom. Now this is the shelf, this one right here, the shelf you look in here, this is what I want to replace, which is going to go next to it. This next part is kind of just messed up looking. It's just an empty wall with some more games sitting there. My arcade versus, soda, and PC games. That is where a new shelf has to go. But above this, the wall up here, is the Master System games that are complete in box with the hang tabs. Column, Scramble Spirit, the Sonic games, another Spy vs. Spy. Now we move over to here. There's my Xbox headphones. Here are my handheld units, along with the OG Xbox and the 360 Xbox. As you can see here, I got the Evercade EXP handheld, a Nintendo Switch Lite, a PSP, one of the at-game Sega handheld. Now this is the one that came in the box that I had as my hopes and dreams. Problem is, the battery is crap on it. I just turned it on, nothing shows up. The battery's pretty much shot. But then I have sitting back here another one. That one works perfectly. Coming down just a little bit, we got Geralt in a bathtub, along with a speaker behind him right now. There is the At Games box that has the manual in it. Over there, Rolling Thunder's in there right now. That is how I play my Nintendo games at the moment. That is a Retron HD for Nintendo and for the Super Nintendo. You can see on the wall here is the Sega Genesis Mini number 2. Go down a little bit lower. That is the Japanese Sega Saturn. Followed by the Mini Mega Drive 2, the Japanese version, and a Retron 77. Those are not hooked up right now. Next, we got all my PlayStation stuff. So I don't have a lot, but as you can see, I also do have PlayStation PSP game. I actually have 2 of those. Down below here is just controllers. That's basically all my stuff for my Sega units. Next one has a mix of stuff for light guns, Nintendo, Xbox, even the Everarcade versus controller. Next spot is actually where I keep all my games that I have not shown anybody yet. These are part of the newest stuff that is just coming on in. Alright, if we turn around here, well, let's keep going down the wall here. Alright, there we got the Halo Master Chief holding on to my Xbox controller. That is my PC where I do all my gaming at. Don't mind the cord mesh you're about to see, because I'm still working on straightening all that out. On the wall right behind it are a bunch of my controller hookups. And up above that is, those are just empty boxes. Nothing's in them. The Sonic the Hedgehog that you see there in red, I was actually thinking about switching all my Genesis games to red boxes. And decided that's going to be way too much money, so screw that. Down here, this is a complete in-box, still new, never been opened. The box itself was open, but the controller and everything in the inside has never been used. The Sega Dreamcast controller. Behind that is one of the power switches, HDMI switches I use to play all the game units that you saw over here. Then you go down to here. That PC right there is actually Windows XP, so I can play older games. Those PC games you saw work on that one. All right, it's going up here for a minute. All right, so this is my PC setup. I got 2 different screens up here. Keyboard, mouse, blah, 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 blah. A little bit of a wire mess still. I was messing around with my Ever Arcade, so I got my Ever Arcade game sitting here right now. That back there is the other HDMI switch. I have 2 different recording devices hooked up so that I can actually see the games and record them. Said I was messing with the Ever Arcade versus just a few minutes ago, so that's here. And now we're going to move over just a little bit. Here is the Sega Tower of Power. Now this one, besides for a 32X, is my original unit that I had since it all began, including the Sega CD with the nice crack here in the front. That happened when playing a video game. When I was younger, got really ticked off, threw the controller at it, and I cracked that open. And if anybody knows me and has seen any of physically know me, you know I get mad at Madden games. That was from playing a Madden game. And here is the Sega Genesis Mini 1. And then underneath this yellow thing is, oh, look at that, another Sega Genesis Model 1 with a power-based converter and a Sega CD and an original 6-button controller. There's one of the wireless ones from Retrobit, and there's their Big 6. This Sega CD does not work. It gets no power at all. Basically, I use the second Genesis here for the power-based converter so that I can play Master System games on the PC for recording purposes. All right, so let's go down a little bit lower. Now, the shelf that I'm using here is actually my wife's, so I gotta be careful that I don't break it. And you will see a bit of a mess up behind and all this, but there is my Xbox One S with 2 Sony controllers in front of it. There is the PS2 and the PS3. Other than that, I do got 2 open shelves over here, one hiding Mr. Tails with a couple games here that I didn't even show. I forgot that I have Rambo 3 Japanese version. Then I do like buying a lot of the Japanese Nintendo games. I think that's Star Force, I think. 1942. You gotta have 1942 for the NESA. Then that's the Super Mario collection. And then behind that I have Kung Fu. And then down below is just some other garbage. This hookup right here is actually for my Xbox, the OG one, but for some reason my monitors do not like it. Then I got the dual turbo wireless controllers and a schematic Systemax, I think is what it is. Whatever. It's a flight controller for my PC. But that is pretty much all I have. I am physically in a corner. Hey, there's my Jet Radio shirt. I am physically, like I said, I am in a corner, nothing else. That's the kitty Mittens, she's sleeping. That's a big mess right there. But that is the setup that I have. I am physically just on one wall of our living room. So no, I do not have an actual gaming room. I don't have a man cave. I have a living room. And that's where my games sit. Alright, welcome back. Hope you guys enjoyed that little view of the gaming corner. Like I said, it's nothing special. I still need to get another bookshelf or 2 and that one area where my PlayStation 2 and 3 and Xbox One S are, I need to change that shelf because I don't want to break my wife's little table that she's got there. So, but other than that, that is the gaming corner. Hope you guys enjoyed the view.